Avatar: The Way of Water Box Office Collection. Avatar: The Way of Water passed $2.116 billion at Global Box Office. This film expected to overtake Titanic on the all-time list. Hey guys, welcome to Netflix Tops, your entertainment channel. Here, we'll tell you about the best movies and TV shows, and we hope you'll subscribe for more awesome videos. So grab some popcorn and stick around to the very end of this video, in which we'll discuss Avatar: The Way of Water box office success. So, let's get going. Director James Cameron's Avatar: The Way of Water is cruising along at the global box office, having met virtually every expectation that it could have. With $2.116 billion worldwide, The Way of Water recently overtook Star Wars: The Force Awakens to become the fourth biggest movie of all time. Talking about creating Avatar 2, James Cameron, in an interview to Variety, had said, "When I was writing the new film, I was going through that as a father of teenagers, and my conclusion was, no matter what you go through in terms of dysfunction, the family's your fortress, and I wanted to somehow, through my art, convey that, because I thought it was a big missing piece in action movies these days." According to the official source, Avatar 2: The Way of Water has officially been released on December 16, 2022, where millions of fans were waiting for its release date. The director has said that it is the biggest movie in the film industry ever, with a total budget of 2,000 crore. No other film has ever been made by any director, and now we need to see it earning in the domestic market. The Way of Water has grossed $620.5 million domestically, and another $1.496 billion from overseas territories. On the all-time global list, it is currently trailing only Titanic, $2.2 billion, Avengers: Endgame, $2.79 billion, and the first Avatar, $2.89 billion. Cameron is now responsible for 3 of the top 4 highest-grossing movies in history, further cementing his reputation as the king of the box office. The Way of Water's success also validates his ambitious vision for the franchise and his unparalleled ability to attract audiences to the big screen. This is especially remarkable because the industry has observed a shift in audience viewing patterns in recent years, due largely to the streaming boom. In the weeks and months leading up to release, there were concerns about the franchise's cultural relevance, and Cameron himself had implied that he was uncertain if there was still a market for these science fiction movies. He famously said that The Way of Water would need to ultimately finish as the 3rd or 4th biggest film of all time to break even, although a variety of reports later pegged the break-even point to be in the $1.5 billion range. The Way of Water, which was released over a decade after the first film's blockbuster success, is estimated to have cost more than $400 million to produce, making it one of the most expensive movies of all time. The film was recently nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Having surpassed his own lofty targets, Cameron is now expected to finish post-production on the 3rd film, which has been slated for a December 2024 release. He had previously announced his intention to direct a 4th and 5th film, with the possibility of 2 more, depending on audience interest. Set a decade after the events of the first movie, The Way of Water takes Jake Sully and his family to unexplored new aquatic corners of Pandora as they're confronted by a familiar old threat and a new avatar. The Way of Water features returning star Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Stephen Lang, Joel David Moore, CCH Ponder, Giovanni Ribisi, Sigourney Weaver, and Dilip Rao, alongside newcomers Kate Winslet, Cliff Curtis, Eddie Falco, Britton Dalton, Trinity Jolie Bliss, Jack Champion, and Jamie Clement. Over a decade after the events of the first film, the film begins with Jake Sully narrating his modest and peaceful life as chief of the Amatakaya clan, and raising his family with his wife Natiri, which includes his son Nitiem and Loak, and his daughter Tuk, his adopted daughter Kiri, and a human boy named Spider, the son of Miles Quaritch, who was born on Pandora but was unable to be transported to Earth in cryostasis as an infant. While Jake is able to accept Spider as an adopted son, Natiri is distrustful of him, given his human origins. However, all the children mingle and socialize well with each other, including Spider, whom Kiri is affectionate with even though he is a human. Spider does not embrace his human heritage and feels more inclined to Na'vi culture and traditions. They lead a normal life, until one day, they notice a strange star in the night sky. Much to their dismay, they realize it's an RDA spaceship, with humans returning to Pandora to colonize it, erecting a new main operating base yet again, causing significant destruction to Pandora. Among the new arrivals in the ship is Colonel Quaritch, who has been cloned into a Na'vi body, and with his memories uploaded from before his death. As a result, Quaritch is unable to remember his demise at the hands of Jake, but is only able to recollect the events in the past and his vengeful mission to eliminate Jack. The long-delayed sequel to 2009's Avatar opened to the big screen in December. Like the original, ticket sales have been fueled by IMAX and 3D screens, as well as repeat customers across all ages and demographics. Disney, which holds the rights to Avatar after acquiring 20th Century Fox in 2019, spent roughly $460 million to produce and promote The Way of Water, making it one of the most expensive films ever. While The Way of Water is expected to soon overtake Titanic at the global box office, it's unlikely that it will come close to matching the first film's performance. That being said, The Way of Water is the biggest movie of 2022, the biggest movie of the pandemic and post-pandemic eras, and only the sixth film in history to make more than $2 billion worldwide. Its biggest international territories are China, $240 million, France, $130 million, Germany, $116 million, South Korea, $100 million, and the UK, $83 million. The box office has struggled to recover in the wake of the pandemic, as audiences shifted to more at-home viewing and fewer films reached the big screen. As the industry rebounds, films like The Way of Water have proven the moviegoers are eager to return for big blockbuster spectacles, and many are willing to pay for premium showings like IMAX or large-format screens that often come with a higher price tag. Meanwhile, as Avatar 2 is enjoying a superb run at the box office, director James Cameron recently spoke about the pressures a filmmaker has to go through in making a movie at such a grand scale. James Cameron shared that one of the pressures of many filmmakers is how to stay objective about their own films. I think there are a lot of pressures on many filmmakers. One of the biggest ones that people rarely talk about is how to stay objective about your own film. If you work on a film for 5 years, at the end of that period, you can still look at your movie and see it with fresh eyes, he said. Cameron is therefore the only director who can boast that 3 of his films are among the 6 to have made over $2 billion, as well as in top 6 best-selling movies of all time. In a breathtaking demonstration of the heft and breadth of James Cameron's filmmaking career, this matchup, no matter the outcome, is a testament to the famed director's impact on the zeitgeist in a multi-generational display of cinematic relevance and box office dominance, says ComScore box office analyst Paul DeGarbedian. After 13 years in the making, all eyes are on the Avatar sequel to see if it could make its budget back and turn a profit for Disney. Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, the box office has experienced major struggles, causing widespread concern and even bankruptcies in the theater industry. Then, last year's Top Gun: Maverick seemed to re-energize moviegoers, proving that the theater industry was far from dead. The Tom Cruise-led film grossed over $1.489 billion in 2022, and it seemed to be the uncontested, almost sole reason for movie-going resurgence. That is until Avatar: The Way of Water swept in to make $1.5 billion at the end of 2022, and take its spot as the highest-grossing movie of last year. And this brings us to the end of the video. What are your thoughts on today's video? Share with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for amazing movie reviews coming your way. And thank you for watching.